Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a collective reading and energy update. Now, the first thing that I really want to say is that there's a lot of really intense energy that I have been feeling coming through recently, and different individuals who are highly empathetic will be feeling this in different ways. So you could be feeling this physically in the form of ascension symptoms, and I am actually currently experiencing some of this myself. You might even be hearing some of it in my voice as I'm still fully recovering from that. You also could be feeling this emotionally. I'm hearing that some people listening maybe having difficulty at times sleeping or eating, or you might be seeing variances in those things in the other direction as well. So you might feel like you are eating more or sleeping more. Again, it can really go either direction, but whenever you begin to see these radical disruptions in certain physical bodily rhythms or typical patterns within yourself, this can be an indication that something is shifting in a really powerful way and that you are experiencing it more intensely, being one who is highly empathic. So I'm also picking up that I've been guided to, in the future, share more about what happens in our physical body, and specifically how meeting a soulmate or especially a twin flame. I think mainly the focus of that video would be on twin flame, because that is, of course, a unique connection, being one in which you share an identical core soul frequency with another physically incarnated being. So I believe in a future video I'll share how encountering and meeting and interacting with a twin flame can actually disrupt some of your sleep patterns, some of your eating patterns, your physical rhythms, because that feels like something that's come on the radar for many people listening. You may have met, or you may be connecting with someone that you've met a long time ago, whether that's telepathic connection, astral connection during sleep time, whether that's some form of 3D physical communication. I am getting that word disruptive keeps coming up, like something in your life might feel a bit unsettled or feel a bit disrupted. And part of this, in some cases, could have to do with someone else, meaning a relationship, a connection that's entered your life and really shaken up your world. If it is another person I'm speaking about here, it feels like they are mirroring your energy, because this other person is actually feeling like you have completely broken them out of their routine. And the energy I'm picking up there is almost like this has been disruptive to the both of you in the most beautiful way. It's kind of like you're on a roller coaster, but a part of you never wants that roller coaster ride to end, because you're making this person feel so alive at the moment. That's what's coming through really strongly. But I pulled 2 cards from the Moonology deck just to get us started today. The first one is A New Start is Coming, and this is a new moon card. So there could be something significant happening around the time of the next new moon, which I don't keep up perfectly with astrology, so I'm not sure when that is. And someone could let me know in the comments or let our community know when the next new moon is as of when you are watching this video, because I feel that time could be really significant to moving forward, this new start. Also, if you've been feeling a lot of this ungrounded, unsettled energy, which, by the way, isn't necessarily a negative. For some of you, it might feel like negative symptoms and sensations, but for others, this can actually almost feel like a giddy feeling, like a kid the day before Christmas kind of feeling. So we'll all experience these energies in different ways, but the one thing that's happening for sure collectively is there's a building of momentum, because we even have the card, the energy is building momentum. This has the feeling of things culminating kind of to a breaking point or to a peak here. And you could be experiencing this in your work, in your job situation, in your life path generally. But for many of you, I'm getting that the energy building momentum is one of some kind of a romantic nature. It's as though the energy is really ramping up and building between you and another soul that's physically incarnated here. I'm hearing irresistible, like you're becoming very irresistible to each other because of the way that this energy is gaining momentum. Okay, there is absolutely someone coming through here. You know, throughout these readings, I like to channel whatever energies come up that seem to be dominant in the reading, and that means that for some of you, these energies will connect. For others of you, it might connect in a more abstract way, or to your internal world, or to a different area of life. For others, it might not connect at all at certain points in the reading, because again, I am channeling the dominant collective energies I'm picking up on. But of course, always use your intuition to really determine what is meant for you and what is meant for others. So with that being said, by the way, if you do want me to channel specifically for you, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This does allow me to pick up on your energy more easily, and as a result, I tend to be able to channel more specifically for you. So the first energy I'm picking up on here is a masculine that is connected to someone listening. This person may use humor to cope with challenging circumstances or things in their life. I'm hearing comedian, so they might literally be a comedian, or this might be someone who just enjoys making other people laugh, using their sense of humor. I almost feel as though at times, though, this desire to make other people laugh might actually have a dark side to it that they're not very open about. They may be this way. Even in school, they may have been like the class clown, so to speak, because there's something that they're actually holding back, something that is in a lot of pain, something that's very emotional. Maybe they've gone through something really challenging in their life, but it feels like if that is the case, they very much kind of put on this face of humor for other people. They focus on trying to make other people laugh, to entertain. I keep getting that word entertain. So they might be a literal entertainer, or just that's kind of their role, either in a family, in the workplace, in their friend group, their social environment. But lately, this person's actually been having a lot of internal banter going on with themselves. They've almost been humoring themselves when it comes to your connection, is what I'm getting. Like they have a lot of inner dialogue going on, not like they talk to themselves in that type of way, but they're very connected with their internal kind of monologue, I should say, or their inner worlds. And they have been thinking to themselves how funny it is the way that they're feeling right now towards you. Now, I do need to channel a bit more into that because I'm not sure exactly where this is coming from. Yeah, because this person is very logical. They like to be able to see numbers, data, to predict exactly how things are going to happen, to analyze past things. And when they analyze the past of their life, they see that particularly when it comes to relationship or situations that are romantic, they've spent a lot of time. Even in their life generally, they may have regrets, feeling like they've spent a lot of time on things that have come back with little return, or have left them feeling disappointed. They're afraid that when they catch feelings for someone, this is going to happen again, that they're going to be re-disappointed, that it's going to be a waste of time. That's what their ego mind is telling them. And I feel if this is connecting for you and this is a romantic situation, this has been a major block to this person because their spirit guides are pushing them with the Four of Swords in the reverse position, pushing them out of their fear, pushing them to find the strength to come out of a period of isolation where they've really been closing themselves off. Again, this could be socially, but I feel for many of you, this situation is romantic, and this person has kind of kept themselves closed off. It's almost like they're a naturally very open-hearted person, but they've artificially closed off their heart a bit for protection. This also feels like someone that may have actually gone through some type of recent heartbreak that still feels somewhat raw or is on their mind in some type of way. When it comes to their work situation, I feel as though their work is on their mind quite a bit. Because regardless of how it looks on the surface, this person seems to be a little bit focused at the moment on their work or financial situation in somewhat of a, I don't want to say a negative way, but maybe a little overly fixated, trying to come up with some type of a solution, trying to figure out how they're going to move their life forward. For some of you, this could actually apply to an internal masculine energy, because there are these global divine masculine and divine feminine energies that are equally within each of us and simultaneously can play out in our relationships, connections, work situations, etc. But with the Eight of Swords, it does feel like this person is searching for some type of a solution or some type of an escape in their life. Particularly, it's almost like not that they're in some kind of dire situation, but just that they really want to escape the mundane nature, the repetitiveness of their life. So their work might feel extremely repetitive to them, and they really want to break out of that cycle. And it feels like if you've interacted with this person or met this person, or if you haven't met them recently, this could even just be thoughts or daydreams about you. It's almost like you have become sort of that escape for them emotionally. When they think of you, it provides this temporary sense of relief from the seeming mundane nature of their physical life. And their soul knows this, but their conscious mind isn't fully aware that the reason for that is actually because they are sensing this highly spiritual connection with you. So when they even just think of you, fantasize about you, daydream about you, they're actually tapping into this deeper part within themselves, this more spiritual side to themselves. And that is what is giving them an escape from the seeming mundane nature of their life. It's the fact that your connection with them is so highly spiritual. It's almost like this person has tried to resist you, tried to resist how they have been feeling towards you, because again, the logical mind keeps stepping in and saying, this, I don't know why I keep hearing this can't work out. It's like their logical mind thinks this can't work for some reason, but their soul keeps pulling them back to you, even if they don't realize that the pulling is coming from their soul. And ultimately, this is leaving them feeling kind of defeated in their own head, like, I can't give this up, I can't let this go. It's pushing them to lean into this and to make some kind of a decision. With the Judgment card in the upright position, there's something really important taking place here at a spiritual level, and this person unconsciously senses that you are meant to be important in their life. Now, I'm hearing the word synchronicity, so this person most likely does not really believe in the idea of synchronicities, but there's been certain things that Spirit has literally put in their face about you and about your connection recently that this person really hasn't been able to get out of their head. So this could be a numbers sign they saw, this could be something they saw that uncannily reminded them of you or of the connection. They may even tell you in a conversation something very offhand, like, oh, I noticed blank and it had to do with you. And if this person does say anything along those lines in the future or has said that in the past, know that this isn't them just commenting on something lightly. Beneath the surface, they're really wondering about this coincidence, this thing they're presenting as a coincidence. But even with the strength of their logic, they're feeling themselves a bit overwhelmed by how coincidental some of the circumstances and the signs seem to be around you and around meeting you. It's really like nothing that they've experienced in their life. We have with the Judgment card someone who, for some reason I'm getting the word homesick, but I feel as though there's a mirrored homesickness between the two of you at this deeper spiritual level. If you're a divine feminine, you may be someone who feels extremely homesick at the soul. So even if you're not homesick for a physical location, you have this sense that you're almost an alien on this planet, that you don't quite belong here because Earth is an extremely dense 3D planet. And you may have this sense that your being is accustomed to dimensions and places that are of a much higher frequency. You might feel out of sorts here sometimes on planet Earth. You might feel like being on this planet drains you quite a bit, that sometimes you struggle to connect with other people on this planet who may be of a bit of a lower vibrational consciousness, which I don't mean that in any kind of a negative connotation. When I say lower vibrational, I mean less developed consciousness. So they might be a younger soul here to experience, let's say, more of the shallow ends of vibration, whereas you're out here in the Marianas Trench, deepest point of the ocean, depth of vibration. And there's always going to be a kind of mismatch of energy or difficulty understanding each other, even if technically you're all one. Technically, we're all the same ocean, but some people choose as souls to play more in the shallow end. They're not really interested in going out yet into the overwhelming depths of the ocean where an older soul, someone like you, is. And that can be really heartbreaking at times, because I get the sense that you listening may be someone who very often tries to kind of take people out into your depth, tries to stand with an open heart and an open mind and kind of call people into deep authenticity. But not everyone you meet, in fact, most people you meet aren't really ready to go out with you there, aren't really ready to meet you there. And so it can be a really frustrating experience, either dating, romantically connecting, making friends. And actually, on that note, I do also want to say that's a major reason why I really love how we co-create together on this channel. You are a co-creator here, wherever you are tuning in from, because your energy is contributing in a powerful way to these readings. And I am so, so appreciative to each of you and all of your beautiful comments and the beautiful energy you bring here, and how you really support each other, and how we're building this sense of community where we can have a space in which we feel more connected and less isolated in the world. And right as I was speaking about all of that, I got the Star card in the upright position. And when I pulled this card, I instantly felt like you are a healer on this planet. You are someone who has a really beautiful and healing, uplifting energy, but not everyone is ready for your gifts. Not everyone is ready to see themselves fully or to be healed. And at times it's almost like it's sort of the healer's tragedy here playing out. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's something that I just kind of said, but it feels like you're experiencing the healer's tragedy, where you have so much to offer the world, so much to share. And because there are many people who aren't yet ready to receive it, at times you might almost feel like you're going crazy or like delusional, like, do I really have as much to share as I think? And of course, the resounding answer is yes, you are vibrating at a very high level of vibration. You have these beautiful gifts to share in the world, and intuitively you know that, you sense that. It's just that, again, not everyone you encounter is going to be ready to receive you. And in fact, I feel almost like for those of you connecting with the masculine who's been coming through here, this person may be someone who initially comes off as though they are critical of you or critical of what you do in the world. They may not have said this with their words, but this may be someone who has seemed a little tentative when it comes to spiritual things, when it comes to possibly if you do something for work or you do something, you're building a business, creating online in a way that is highly creative, in a way that is speaking about spirituality, speaking about tarot, astrology, those types of things. I feel like this person, it's like their conscious mind is very closed off to that, but their soul is very in resonance with it. It's kind of like they are living in a sort of cognitive dissonance where secretly the masculine coming through here, although he is very logical, he's actually highly curious about astrology, about tarot and spirituality and spiritual signs and those types of things. He might even research secretly some of this material, particularly since sensing, meeting, or connecting with you, depending on whether or not you've met yet in the physical. And yet, on the surface, if you were to have a conversation with his physical human self in person, he would most likely say, for some reason I heard immediately no. Like he would immediately say, no, I am against those types of things. Or I don't believe in those types of things. But that's really not the whole picture here. And the more that you communicate and speak with this person, it's almost like you intuitively, Divine Feminine, you may wonder at times when you connect or meet this masculine, was I wrong for sensing this depth here, because he pretends to be so closed off to spirituality, to these kinds of topics and materials and ideas. Like, how could I feel so drawn to someone who seems to be so closed off or closed-minded? But there's something about this person's energy that draws you in. There's like an authenticity there. There's this beautiful energy around this masculine that your soul is drawn to, that your soul picks up on. And if this is a twin flame, it's almost like you see this person. I'm hearing if it's a twin flame situation, especially, you, Divine Feminine, recognized this masculine first, but he saw you earlier than he lets on. I don't know who I'm getting that for. I don't know who that's relevant for, but it almost feels like, again, you have this sense, am I going crazy? Because you immediately seemed to recognize this person and your connection with them in your soul. It's like they lit up and you couldn't tear your eyes away from them, and you felt this irresistible magnetic pulling that was very disruptive to your life, but also so beautiful and spiritually profound. But then speaking with this person, if you have communicated, they may seem on the surface so closed off that you wonder, you begin to doubt yourself. Was I correct about sensing this deeper spiritual nature to this person? And know that you're not going crazy. You are highly intuitive, and you can look back on your life and see so many times where your intuition was actually spot on, even at times when you doubted or wondered, is my intuition correct about this? And it's the same in this case. This person with hostilities in the upright position is, again, just living in this cognitive dissonance. They're fighting themselves in the sense that a part of them, I'm hearing they want to believe. They want to believe in love. They want to believe in love that is truly unconditional, that isn't too good to be true. When they think about you and this connection, there is a lot of that, is this too good to be true energy coming out here. They want to believe in soulmates or twin flames. They want to believe in the idea that we're destined to meet certain people, that there's something greater out there than ourselves. And at their heart, with deceit in the reverse position, this person knows intuitively that there is some truth to things that they may have rejected or pretended not to be interested in the past. Even when it comes to you, it's almost like this person can come off as either very blunt, possibly a bit standoffish to people in their life. Again, this feels very much like a defense mechanism, a protective mechanism. And usually this might put you off, Divine Feminine, except you can sense that this is just a mechanism. You can actually see, you can sense through to this person's soul And deep down, we do have the failure card coming up on this person's energy. And what this tells me is even if they're presenting themselves in the spotlight or publicly to other people as feeling like a success, feeling like they know where their life is going, internally, they're feeling very much the opposite. And specifically, they're feeling as though they failed at something in their life, or that they've failed to really solidify themselves on a particular life path that is really aligned with the type of person that they want to be. It's almost like this person has gone through an awakening, but they're still feeling very unclear about exactly what they want out of life or out of their future. This awakening has broken them away from some possibly old habits, old dynamics, relationships. It's like the things that used to really interest this person seem to interest them less, and it's causing them to break out into new directions. Now, this could be their hobbies, it could be their work, their relationships, but the thing is, you, Divine Feminine, seem to be further along in your awakening process. Your guides want you to know when you see this person, you have to see them as though they are going through now what you went through during the early stages of your awakening, where you were still kind of trying to hold up this persona that wasn't really aligned with your soul, going through this ego death. And of course, all of that has long passed for you who are listening. And you're really standing very solidly in your power. You have a lot more clarity about who you are in this world, energetically, spiritually. And it's almost like your guides are saying you have to know this person is going through that same kind of process that you went through. And ultimately, it's going to really realign them with some type of a higher path that could take their life in an entirely different direction. With Angel of Love reversed, though, I see this person really sees you as an angel. In fact, they may even use that exact word angel to describe you, or when they think about you, they see you as someone who is very solidly themselves, very solidly authentic and in their power. They almost see you as like this ideal, but you feel almost like a dream to them, almost a bit unreachable. With the Angel of Love reversed, it's like they don't quite feel like they can fully access or deserve your love or your energy. And this is creating, it's almost like connecting with you is actually illuminating within this person the parts of themselves that they've been trying to ignore or cover, and yet they feel irresistibly drawn to you over and over. So it's like they get uncomfortable because you illuminate these parts of themselves they aren't ready to face. And in those moments, they might seem to shut down a little bit. They might seem to get distant, but then they keep coming back for more, or they will keep coming back because there is this irresistible magnetism between the two of you. If you've physically been together, I'm literally feeling this like a pulling of your bodies towards each other, whether that's across the room, standing or sitting side by side, whatever the case is. When you're physically present with this person, it's like you both are so aware of each other, so magnetically being pulled towards each other that you struggle to really even register much else that is happening in your physical reality. And this also means that both of your guides, but particularly your guides, Divine Feminine, because you are the one who's more spiritually in tune, who's really empathic, picking up on a lot of this energy, you're really being guided to do the best you can to stay centered, to establish that center of gravity, to ground yourself, because with Yin Yang reversed, this is my number one twin flame card in the deck. So this could be a confirmation for some of you that this is a twin flame connection that is in the process of coming into some kind of balance or harmony. But again, this person does get scared whenever your presence, Divine Feminine, illuminates these patterns, dynamics, things within them that they might not yet be ready to face or to see, but they're always going to feel addicted to that as well, addicted to the way that you do illuminate them. the way that you do seem to see them, even beyond ways that they are ready or willing at the moment to see themselves. But it's so important for you, Divine Feminine, with Goddess of the Moon, to keep holding the space, holding the light, standing in your power, and doing the best you can to stay fluid. Because with adjacent possibilities upright, I see that at a quantum level, energetically, you are shifting very, very fast. Again, this could be playing into some of those symptoms or sensations you might be feeling, some of the energies you might be feeling that are very ungrounding. It's very important for you to stay as fluid as you can. Imagine these shifts kind of like riding the waves. And the most important thing you can do is keep your balance on the surfboard. In this case, grounding yourself, keeping yourself centered, staying fully present in the moment, and not allowing yourself to get too caught up with exactly the details of where this is going, or where or how that next opportunity is going to open, either with this person or in your life. I'm hearing your surrender is your true power at this time. So if this reading has been connecting with you, I will be continuing on diving deeper into this whole dynamic in the extended reading on Patreon. I do channel extended Patreon readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you are feeling guided to join our beautiful Patreon Soul Tribe and get more channel details about how this person is feeling and thinking at this time, love messages from this person to you, Divine Feminine, as well as any other messages that want to come through the reading. The link to all of that is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I am going to be pulling one final Rumi Oracle card to close out the reading. And of course, this card is one. And I heard someone's guide saying, remember when you interact with this other physical person, that at a soul level, you are one. It's almost like you're interacting with yourself, which once again, that will really apply for those of you who are dealing with a twin flame dynamic here. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here to close the reading. I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. Rumi. Like molten gold, poured from the furnace of divine love into a one-of-a-kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the beloved and the lover. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then, why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. So that feels like a beautiful place to close this reading. Again, if you would like to continue with me into the extended reading, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today, wishing you a beautiful day and weekend. Thank you for tuning in and co-creating here with me. Be sure to let me know in the comments if anything connected with you in a personal way. And I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.